Told the guys in there, you bad luck. I broke 2 ribs the week before.
Uh-oh.
Couldn't yell last week.
Oh, man.
I feel a lot better right now.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
So you're in trouble. I'm back to my old age. You always try to talk to the officials a little bit and kind of set the tone, kind of a, hey, we're okay, you're okay, I'm okay. Don't take anything personal. But then it changes right away, because right after the kickoff, I'll start jawing at them. But they know that, and they do a good job of handling it. All right, guys, we'll have a good day. This is the only group you can rely on right here. You got to touch somebody. Got to touch somebody. Here we go. We'll be introduced as a team like we did before. Captains are going to be Anthony Weaver, Todd Heap, and Will Demps. Okay, men, all week long, right? All week long. You've seen it coming. Have that passion out on that field. Let this thing go. Let it go. Have a hell of a day. That's all this is. Have a hell of a day. Enjoy yourself. Stick together now. But remember how we're going to conduct ourselves. Don't get drawn into their boat. They're carrying a lot more around than we are right now, and they're going to draw you into some. Don't do it. Use it to your advantage. Have yourself a hell of a day, man. You know, in the pregame, all you're really trying to do is set a tone to reiterate what you've covered all week. You're not giving them anything they haven't heard before, but you reiterate what it is that you've touched on from Wednesday to Thursday to Friday to Saturday night before, to have them touch, to try to elicit that response and that emotional response that you've tried to set all week. As they're going out of the locker room, I always position myself right at the door so that I look at each man individually in the eye. And if I can, have a little something specific for them, to let them know that I appreciate individually what it is they're going to contribute to the game. Relax and have fun, man. Here we go. Make a difference, make a difference, make a difference, make a difference. Have one of your days. That walk from the locker room, when I'm done with the players, and they're all out there in the tunnel ready to come out, is a special moment for me, because as I make that turn, I begin to see the crowd and all the hoopla that's going with it, the teams there in front of you. And no matter how long I've been at this, that sense of what's about to happen is always something special. Here we go! First shot, man, first shot! One of the keys the other night was we opened up, and our first couple shots in the running game had some nice rhythm to them. We were real physical. We were kind of knocking them back, even as they were making the tackle. So that was a real positive thing.
Bowler back to throw the first pass of the game. Over the middle, it is complete.
Damn it. All right, good drive. Good start, good start. A good drive doesn't always have to be a scoring drive. You take it out of the shadow of your goal line, from the 20. For us, it was about field position. We kept them backed up the whole game. Very familiar scenario to us when we're playing well. And so we were able to do that, even if it didn't yield a lot of numbers and stats. We were able to keep the game played on their side of the 50 to a large degree, which really helped the defense. He pushed! He pushed! He pushed! Guess I'm yelling at the wrong guy there, because that's not his call. But that's okay, the effect was the same. You add that on top? Well, then decline it unless I get the yardage too. And that's an important call early too. If a receiver thinks he can get away with some things, he's going to continue to push that during the course of the game and might very well get away with it. But if it's called early the way it's supposed to be, then that receiver is going to think twice about taking that next shot that might cost his team. There's really no penalty for an offensive player to shove off on a pass that he can't really get to. You know what I'm saying?
Unless he catches it.
Right,
and that's what you're saying.
This is one of those conversations that you listen afterwards and go, what the hell did we just say? The point I was trying to make was that something we need to review as a league is that, particularly on third down, if the receiver wants to push off, there's no downside to it. Particularly if a pass he doesn't think he's going to get, because all they do is lose the down. There ought to be some additional penalty to it. If it's clearly going to be intercepted, he grabs the guy and yanks him down. All he's lost is the down. It's kind of what we're talking about here. I don't know if they're quite grasping that. I'm probably not articulating myself very well. Why don't you do something about that? This is also working the officials. This is putting it on a personal level during the course of the game. The last little bit where I turn to the guy and tell him to change it is kind of a, hey, I'm okay, you're okay. You're doing a good job so far because we're ahead. So keep it up. Come on, baby, come on, baby. Get that momentum now. Keep that momentum. That was the thing that we were missing in some of the previous games is establishing momentum and holding on to it, holding off momentum as we progress through the game, letting the momentum overwhelm us like it did a little bit in the Jacksonville game. This game had plenty of opportunities, and the way the players responded to it was, I think, huge.
Bowler off play action, looking to throw on first down, fires upfield, he's got a man, it's complete.
You're in field goal, Jim. When I make a comment like that, we're in field goal, I hope no one misunderstands that we're saying, let's just get the field goal. But there's a point on the field where you maintain points. You don't want to take points off the board. You don't want to take yourself out of scoring position. So for us, it's matched over, it's simple. You cross that 30-yard line, you want to be very specific about your play calling from the 20 to about the 22. And teams will adjust their call accordingly so. You got to know they're going to pressure more from the 30 to the 25 than they might from the 20, say, down to the 10.
Jenkins motions to the right side. Handoff to Jamal trying to get to the right side. Flag is down.
Oh, tell me it's not a penalty. Oh, God. Now you're back out of field goal shape. That's the thing we've been fighting over and over again is, something steps up, a missed block, a holding penalty that takes you now, just what I'm talking about. Now we take ourselves out of field goal position. That changes the calls that you have to make to get yourself back into that.
On second down, Bowler has time, throws upfield, and is intercepted.
And that's what it does. It puts you now in a long D&D, forces you to make a call or a throw that maybe force the ball down the field, trying to get yourself back into that scoring position, and that's the tough sequence. This is one of those areas where the momentum can change, that our guys held on to and did not let it affect them.
What did we do? What did he...
Now the key is to identify what happened, not just to dog cuss somebody and be upset with one individual or another, but with all the advantages or the vantage points we have up above on the field. Guys, what happened? Did the quarterback not see it? Did he not recognize rotation? Did the receiver not run the right route? Did he not flatten it in an anticipated way, not take it deep enough, so that we can give the player something tangible when he comes off the field?
Come on, 3 and out! Momentum. God, how do we sustain momentum better?
And Randall L. in the backfield with him. And he gives it to Haynes on the drop place, and he's dropped for a loss.
Good.
This is the thing I was probably most pleased about, was the way our defense kept them from running. They're committed to the run. They're as good as anybody as they're in the league. And I think with the pressure packages and what we tried to do, forced them out of it in a way that they had not been forced out of in a while.
That's the way to respond. Come on, man, let's get a touchdown. Come on, touchdown. Momentum.
Particularly after the early interception and where we were in the game, for the offense to respond in this way, and come back and kind of move the length of the field and make some plays, a couple of key third downs, was critical in terms of them seizing the momentum that the defense was creating for us.
He gets the football. Chester running right up the middle, breaks a tackle.
Great run by Chester Taylor. Boy, just and one of those that you show the receivers in particular saying, don't ever think your block doesn't make a difference, no matter how far down the field. Maybe he gets into the end zone with that extra half a foot here.
First and goal from inside the 1. Bowler knocked down, fumble. He threw the ball away, and the Steelers recovered.
This was an amazing sequence to see. Sometimes you throw the flag because you're guessing. You got to figure something had to be wrong here to account for this. Of course, the players are going to come off and tell you exactly what happened, even though they have no clue whatsoever, because their emotion and frustration, they're sure they see it a certain way. So you've got to use your best judgment and kind of try to cut through the emotion of it, the fog of war, so to speak.
My knee should have been down.
That wasn't the point. The point is, don't pitch it when you don't have control of the ball.
His knee was down. When he went to pitch. He went back to quarterback.
He hadn't been touched by any defensive player.
Yeah, they were all over him. That's how he went down. It was all bundled up. I'm challenging that his knee was down as he was pitched. Anytime you counter, the center's going to have to really come back. You've got to ride.
Hey, on that one, the guy, I will bet put my life on it. The guy jumped the ball before he even snapped it. Yeah.
Put his life on it, I'll bet he will.
Everything's reviewable, too, now, including offsides, correct? You're catching anything, right? I mean, if he sees an infraction...
Not any infraction. Not any and all infraction.
He's got... Do I have to register all with him?
He's wrong about this. If the official, in challenging and looking at one thing, looks and sees something else, Not a subjective call, not a holding, an offsides as they tell you, but as he said, if there are 12 men on the field, or something that was clearly, you challenged that a guy made the catch. What you didn't challenge is that he stepped out of bounds. But it turns out he did step out of bounds. Well, the officials are going to correct it.
Did you register all that with him?
No, but make sure he knows. Can you make sure
now.
he knows?
I will tell
Both.
Go tell him now.
You can't get to the offside. You could get it if they had 12 men. But
They
you
had
can't get
12
the
men?
offside. No,
Oh.
I said that's the
How
only
come
thing
you
that
can't get the
count.
offsides?
You can't get to that. Because
Why not?
That's a judgment call.
They're all judgment calls. Is the ball in or out? Did he step on the line or not? Good thing I'm not an official.
I'm staring at it right here, Ron.
He's already made his decision, but I'm going to make his life miserable as I can if he's having to come out here and tell us that it's not our ball.
After review, the defensive player, number 98, did in fact touch the quarterback while he was in possession of the ball. The knee went down to the ground while still in possession. It was Baltimore's ball.
What's he gonna do here? Randy?
The best matchup we had was Randy on the inside on Deshae Townsend with no help over the top.
Bowler back to throw, throws in the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Ravens.
Great throw, great catch, right where it had to be.
No mistakes, man. We got momentum. Defense has got him going pretty good. Gotta be smart.
Sometimes I'm talking on the phone, I maybe just be talking to myself, just to remind myself of the priorities and what it is we need to do.
Jamal's the running back. He gets the handoff. Runs into his own lineman. No penetration there. And the Steelers have the football.
Wow, man. Unbelievable. Holding the 3.
This was a pivotal part of the game. The fumble's unfortunate, but the way the defense responded and gave the offense an opportunity then to respond to the defense was a big part of it. This is what you're looking for in a team that can handle this type of adversity.
That's a hell of a job. Hell of a job. Don't blink. I know it's tough. I know it's tough. Don't give up on it. Don't blink now. It's tough. That's right. That's right.
Take the run, throw out the flat to Justin Green. 10-6 Ravens. Right back to Taylor. Busted into the secondary. He's at the 40-yard line of the Steelers.
We're in field goal range, man, so that becomes a priority. Puts it back to a touchdown game.
Again, you always want to have touchdowns. You want that separation. It would have been great to put this thing to a 20-6 game. That would have significantly changed the nature of the game for them. But a 16-6 game also dramatically changes the complexion of the game, and you don't want to take yourself out of that position.
Bowler drops back, sets up, running down the middle. It's open, 10-5. Matt Catula, the rookie, snaps it back. Stover boots it up. It is good.
Nice job, man. Nice job. You didn't blink. You wouldn't let them take the momentum back. Maintain the momentum, pound away, make the plays down the field. I talked all week about momentum, man. You have momentum. Come on. Maintain the momentum. But as typical games, if something happens, don't blink. We didn't out there. Had some things thrown at you, you didn't blink. You wouldn't let them take the momentum back. Maintain the momentum, pound away, make the plays down the field. He's gonna throw you up an interception, man, the way it's coming. But whatever happens, don't blink, maintain the momentum.
That's the biggest battle you're fighting with a team that's in our situation is the inevitable human quality of, oh my gosh, what could happen to us? What bad's going to happen? It's been that kind of a season. And not to let them give into that type of emotion.
Come on, don't let them get started. Momentum!
Pitch it out to Parker, running near side. He's in trouble and dropped for a loss at the 32-yard line.
Yeah! Turnover for a touchdown.
Snap back, Maddox looking near side, pressure, ball pops up, sucks, intercepts.
This was too bad. Again, to come up with this kind of turnover, but this has kind of been the story of our season, an opportunity, and then something takes away from us. But then the defense came back and didn't let the emotion of this going, oh gosh, or here's another thing that didn't go our way, and held on and did a nice job with this series.
Maddox in the shotgun now. Cedric Wilson lined up on the wrong side, and the Steelers have to take a timeout.
That's you. That's you. That's you. Got to keep it up. You got to keep it up.
This was great. The fans, boy, they impacted the game. They came ready to play. Actually, in the second half, where they had no timeouts left, at a couple times when then they might have challenged the play. But Bill Cowher was out of timeouts, therefore couldn't challenge it. And the fans, they had a tangible effect on the game.
In the backfield, Ravens jump and made contact. I believe Suggs jumped across.
He didn't touch anybody. He didn't touch anybody.
That's when I still don't understand. Unabated to the quarterback means you're not supposed to let the quarterback take a hit. You've seen it all the time on an offside. A guy jumps offside and just whacks the snot out of the quarterback. I don't believe this is one that should have been called that way. He got back clearly. He did not touch the guy and did not pass or threaten the quarterback in any way. But we'll send it in and we'll see what the league says.
Get it up, get it up, get it up, get it up.
Maddox fakes to the bus, looking to throw. He's hit, sack.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Maddox under center. Throws it out in the flat to Antoine Randall on the quick screen. Randall up the sideline. Maddox back to throw.
You know, the team this caliber is going to make some plays. And their ability to come back and even up the game. Huge momentum switch for them. You could see their sideline was pumped up, rightfully so. Really thought that they had control of the game, and we were able to take it back.
This is one of those games we got it under control. Sure about what you're doing, right? Yep. But go ahead and let it go. Yeah. You know, you've been here before.
Now's when you got to respond. Now's when you got to pull it together as a team and not let the emotion, the moment, yank that momentum away.
Snap a little low. He handles it fine. Decent punt. Sam's going to get a chance to return it from the 31. Pauses, hesitates, 35, 40, breaks the tackle.
And got the field position to win, man. We just got to convert.
Special teams were outstanding in terms of keeping an outstanding returning group in check, and the field position that we allowed ourselves to stay in the whole game. Special teams was a huge part of the victory.
3rd and 10, Steelers showing blitz. Here they come. Bowler looking, firing. He's got high.
Kind of play Kyle's capable of. All the pressure's on the line. You got to convert. You got to get us in field goal position. 3rd down. Nice pass to Randy Himes to get us down and give us a chance to win the game. Great run by Jamal. Lowers his shoulder here, gets us the positive yards we need to put us in a convertible situation.
All right, you're in field goal range, Jim. We'll try a field goal. Yes, whatever we need to do to get positive yards, we'll kick a field goal.
Bowler back to throw, deep drop, has protection, throws underneath, he has it.
All right, kick it.
Got such faith in Matt Stover. Once we cross that 30, I'll put my game, my job on the line anytime in that situation with Matt Stover. So once we crossed the 30, it was a matter of how do we maximize the angle for him in terms of getting a couple more yards, but knowing that he's in a position to win the game.
Chip shot, Matt.
Catula to snap it, and a timeout from the Steelers. They'll try to ice Matt Stover a bit.
You can't ice Matt Stover. He's older than I am.
Field goal's favorite word, chip shot. Until you've had to make that kick. There's no such thing as a chip shot. And Bill did the right thing. I'd have done the same thing. You call a timeout, you do the conventional thing, which is to ice him.
Zastonville puts it down. Stover right foot into it. Plenty of distance. It's good. Matt Stover has won the game, and the Ravens have upset the Steelers.
It doesn't matter what our record is, what's going on at that moment, for the fans, for everyone there, the players, the coaches. That's as good a win. That's as much exaltation and excitement as any win you're going to have. What happens 10 minutes after that, and people want to talk about where we're at in the season and what it meant and anything beyond that, that's fine, it's fair. But for that brief instance, that's why you spend those 3 hours. That's why our fans spend all the money they do, because you can't get another feeling like that. And it's something you got to hold on to. You got to cherish it every chance you get.
Let's go. I guess nobody wants tomorrow off. All right, guys, here we go. Boy, that's why you play, isn't it? That's why you play. Hell of a job answering back and forth, the momentum, sticking with one another. Now, real simple, who can tell me the best thing about this? Not bad, still not here. What's the best thing? What's the best thing about your life right now? What'd you say? We get to come back and do it again next week.